Yeah, I mean, you're watching it now, I mean. I want to like minimize and see what happens. So that means it stops when
Don't leave them. Don't leave. No. Please Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
No, let's not do it.
Thank you very much. My face was done last year. It's automatically when it's
7.
Oh,
Yours
she
is
said
6.
me.
And 7 minutes more. I'm coming.
Don't mind me.
Love. We're going to the event.
You're not a good person.
And this way they don't say from
I agree.
what do you take? You will. Smile it off. Really smile it.
link with me?
Praise. Actually, we praise.
Please share with me. Let me do what I need to do upstairs. Oh, there are 2 people. So you need to
Yeah.
No, can you change this? Let me get it.
I just said it's more.
Yes, thank you.
One.
You say I bank.
That's what I'm trying to figure out where to type.
Good evening, welcome.
The option is stuff now.
if you can't respond,
Yeah.
sorry.
Is there a way to get their contacts? Is there a way to get their contacts? Because it's
Why are you laughing at me? What is the issue with that?
Sorry. I was trying to meet you for inquiry from you. Sure, because I can't reply. I need it. Alright. The inquiry form. I need to put the you can't I can't reply back. So I'm trying to put the link so that they can send their question. No, I need like if there's an email you can send their question. Okay. How is that? No, just the inquiry. That's all. I'm not. What's your name on video, sir?
You're recording me.
You came here, you saw it, you asked.
Yes.
You said that many people are watching. I said, one.
Alright, good evening everyone. On behalf of the Vesti team, I welcome you to this month's Going Global Lagos edition. Please, let's connect, let's engage, let's ask questions. Let's live with the knowledge good enough for us to make that bold move. And yes, we are going to kickstart the evening now. With me is our beautiful moderator, Adiza. Join me.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir. So my name is Hadiza Adegbeni. I'm the partnership lead here at Vesti. And it's a typical tradition to start with introductions at Going Global. So, as our physical guest here, we'll start with you, sir. What is this? You know what? You don't have to be. You can just speak to us here. You don't have to be on the live. You can just speak. You'll hear your voice, but you won't see you. So it's giving mysterious, and that's good.
Alright. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Daniel. It's great to be here.
Thank you, Daniel. Daniel, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm a marketer.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So, like I said, my name is Hadiza. I'm partnership lead here at Vesti, and now we'll be kicking off the Going Global. But one additional thing that we do is we ask our guests why they're here. So I'd like to ask you, Mr. Daniel, why are you here, and what do you aim to achieve from being here and from just connecting with Vesti?
Majorly, I came to learn about Vesti and also understand what you do and get more information.
Fantastic. We're in the perfect place and the perfect time. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We'll be going right into the panel sessions now, and I'll be introducing our speakers. Right, we have 3 amazing speakers today who will be speaking to us, and they've given us everything that we need for all the 4 amazing speakers rather, giving us all the information that we need. I'd like to firstly call on Temiloluwa, who is our HR lead. Please give her a round of applause. And secondly, I'd like to call Tolu, who is our sales executive at Vesti. Round of applause for him as well. I'd also like to say big hello to our viewers streaming on YouTube. Welcome. Please be as engaging as you can. Ask questions. We're very much open to answering your questions. So please connect, engage, and let's go global together. Thank you. All right. Next, I'll be calling on Temi Tayo, our senior finance manager. Please give me a round of applause while he comes. And then lastly, I'll be calling on Olubumi, and she's our head of business development. A round of applause for her as well as she comes. Yes. So we have everyone here. I'm just waiting on Bumi. She's coming down now. Right. So we'll be going straight into the panel sessions. But these panel sessions are tailored to have the conversations with our panelists. But if you have questions, please feel free to send them in. They are very much available and ready to answer all the questions that you have. So for those online, Mr. Daniel who's here, please feel free to ask your questions. You can signify by raising your hand for Mr. Daniel. And if you're online, you can send in your questions and we see them in real time and ask them, and you get your answer in real time. Thank you very much. Great. So whilst we wait for Manu, we'll just kick off, right? And I'll be asking the panelists the questions. Jimmy, can I stand here?
Closer.
Right, so the first question I have will be for Temilolua, right, is what does it mean to be eligible for a special talent visa?
Okay, yeah, so before I answer that, hello Mr. Daniel, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, nice to meet you. So is this your first time going global?
Yeah, my very first time.
Okay, yeah, do you know about our services or this is new to you, so I know where I'm starting from?
Okay, so of course I know you offer visa services.
Alright, so you talked about the special talent visas. So there are different special talent visas for different countries. I'll talk about the one for the US. So for the one for the US, we have the O1 visa, we have the H1B, EB1, and EB2, NIW. So before I go into details about all the different special talent visas, I want you to know that it is very intentional. This special talent visa, there's a reason why these countries put them in place, basically. So it's for extraordinary abilities. It's for individuals with extraordinary abilities. So they want to, they are bringing you into the system because they want the best of the best individuals. They want to be able to pride in saying that we have the best experts working in our country to build our economy. So that's why that special talent visa was created. So it's more or less like a win-win for both parties, for the country and also for yourself. So just going into details, for the O1 visa, the O1 visa is for individuals with extraordinary abilities. And so what do? You said business, right?
Marketing.
Oh, marketing, okay. So it's for individuals in business, in science, in arts, and it would be nice to jot down one or two things because it's very important. So these special talent visas, you are eligible for them, but there are 7 criteria that you need to go through to be sure that you're actually eligible for to be eligible for the O1 visa, basically. And I'll just run through it. Is there anyone that I forget? You just remind me. So one of the requirements is that you need to have publications, newspaper publications, talk about your work, the things that you have done. Like I said, they're looking for the best of the best to work in their country, to add value to their economy. So they're looking for the 1% of the 1%. So what journals, what publications have you written about your field? They want to see some of the evidence that they will see to be sure that, okay, you are actually eligible and you can come into their country. Another thing is newspaper publications. Have you actually written any article? Have you been recognized before? Posted in any of the media platforms? Another evidence is evidence of a good salary. They need to be sure that even while you're in your current country, you have the right amount of money, at least you're boxed up to a very large extent. So they need evidence of that. Another evidence is they need evidence of recommendation letters. So they need to be sure, like you said, you're an expert in your field, right? But they need other people to be able to attest to the fact that you are actually an expert. Another evidence is evidence of being able to judge the work of others. So if you're an expert in that field, you're an expert in marketing, you should be able to judge the work of others, give feedbacks, remarks. They will call you for events to speak on that said industry. So these are some of the requirements before you can come into the US to and be given the visa to work as an O1. To be given the O1 visa, these are some of the requirements. And this visa is just for 3 years. It spans for 3 years, and after 3 years, you can actually switch to the EB1 visa. So that's for the O1 visa. Do you have any questions, sir, before I move to other pathways? like I mentioned, there are different pathways to move to the US. Different STBs, special talent visas. The second one is the H-1B. The H-1B is a lottery-based visa. We do not have any involvement, like I said, lottery. So the goal is, and the only requirement, there are 3 requirements. The first one is you need to have a BSc or its equivalent, which is the HND. That's like in Nigeria now. That's one of the requirements. And of course, you need to have like a valid passport. You also need to have an employer in the US. So you need to have an employer, but however, you do not have one. That's why Vesti is here to ensure that all this process are seamless. And finally, you also need to be in a specialized field. So either in finance, in art, in business, you said you're in marketing, so they know that you're an expert when you're coming into the system to work for the next 3 years. So that's for the H-1B visa. Like I said, it's very seamless. It happens every March of every year, and I can attest and I can assure you that if you get into the lottery in October, you should be in the United States of America. So that's for the H-1B visa. For the EB-1 visa, EB-1 is almost like the O-1 visa, the same requirements. So the USCIC says you need to have at least 3 or 4 of these requirements out of all the 7 requirements. But for the O-1 visa, if you have like 4 or 5, they can still like bypass some things. But if it's for the EB-1, they are more strict. It's the same requirement though, but now the difference between the O-1 and the EB-1 is the O-1 is a temporary visa just for 3 years, but the EB-1 is a visa where it will lead you to permanent residency, where you get your green card and you can work for 10 years and above. So that's like the different STVs for the USA. Like I mentioned, there are different special talent visas. This country are bringing you into their country because they want to pride in the fact that the best of the best are the ones that are running their economy. So the way we have for US, we have for UK, we have for Canada, and so many other countries like that. I don't know if I was able to answer.
Thank you very much, Altini. So our next question will be directed to Tolu. How does Vesti support talent with building strong visa petitions?
Alright. So what Vesti does is migration tech that helps people move from place to place legally. We have a firm of lawyers, a team of lawyers. So we have what's also the big
The question is, how does Vesti support talents with building strong visa petitions?
So, I think that first of all, we need everyone, since I've noticed that when the chair very late, I had to complete some things. Our Vesti support to file strong petitions. One of the first things we had would be one thing I take pride in a lot. Across 5 countries that have the strongest league of athletes, immigration athletes, spanning 2 decades of work experience, who were able to file a petition. And one of the first things we are able to do that is we're able to first qualify you for this, for whatever visa category you want to go for. So after we pre-qualify you, then we know the evidences that you have. We invite you for a clarity session. On that clarity session, you're not just known that you are qualified for a process, but we tell you tailor-made how this particular process suits you and your industry. Once you tell us that, okay, now I know this suits me, I know I am fit for this particular visa type, the next step is, okay, then you go into make payments and we kickstart the process with the legal team. Kickstarting the process with the legal team is just, onboarding with the entire legal team, having an onboarding call where you're able to expansively, share your resume, share all that you have done across all walks of life, and then they're able to give you a tailored strategy on how the entire petition process will go. And I can also tell you that until we deem a petition approval body, it is also not submitted by the legal team. That's one of the ways we need to get strong petitions.
Thank you very much, Queen. Please can we give a round of applause? Thank you. Coming back to you, Rumi, my next question goes in the line in terms of if a person doesn't have global recognition, because we're speaking about going global, we're speaking about special talent visas, right? So if a person doesn't have global recognition, are they still eligible to apply? Should they still be encouraged to apply?
Okay. Like I always say this across platforms, there are two categories of people. Exactly, you are working on being qualified and not putting yourself out there, or you're very, very qualified and putting yourself out there. One of the first things you want to know is if you're working on being qualified and not putting yourself out there. That's one of the reasons why we also have the concierge team and the legal team who are able to hold you on how to put yourself out there. I've serially seen a lot of people who have put themselves out there, but not in the way they need to, for the petition that's being filed. So I'm going to give an example. Say you have a lawyer and a realtor, for example, and the person is interested in O1. I want to go for O1. Meanwhile, this person is known as the senior advocate of Nigeria, but has also done a lot more work as a real estate magnate, right? Now, speaking to this person on the clarity session, we feel or we believe strongly that this real estate is a stronger petition holder than that. What we are able to do, because you're not putting yourself out there, is we're able to link you with a lot of media houses who are able to put you out there as a real estate market, right? Showing forth all of the work that you have done over the years and how you've been able to impact communities or lives as a realtor. Now, another question I think a lot of people would ask is, I've done that over the years. Will the dates I put myself maybe in articles, in publications, will they count? The dates do not count. What matters is that you have done this work. We're just putting it out there, and if the USCIS need to see it in real time, all they need is an click of a link. They have access to this information.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that analogy, Bumi. Yes, very, 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 very fast. My next question is directed to Tayo. My next question borders around finance, right? Because you're the money man here, and money is very, very important, right? So my question is, what financial products does Vesti offer for migration, and maybe a bit specifically for special talent visas and educational pathways in general? A round of applause as it comes up again.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome to Vesti. My name is Tendaya. Like my colleague have said here, so Vesti is just a company that we run on two products, migration products, and we have the financial service product. So under the migration product, that's when we have all the visa type, all those work visas that we actually explain. So under the financial service that we do, so we have different products under them. We have virtual cards, we have the physical debit card powered by MasterCard. So we have the wallet system whereby you can transfer to any bank of your choice. So when it comes to what the financial service can do, you can implement or embed with the financial service that we render to help the migration service. It's just a way whereby we, like she said, we offer loan, international student loan to students, right? So, and we also offer migration support loan to any visa type that you want, but we just have some criteria that we look at for before we can give out this loan. So when it comes to the student, international student loan, we give up to from $2,000 to $100,000, depends on the tuition fee that you are required to do, right? So, but before you get the loan, you have to get an admission letter that we pre-qualify you for that. Then we look into your financial statement and any other criteria or requirements that we want to do so that you can send to us, and we will pre-qualify you before we can say, oh, you are qualified for this international student loan. And also, we also help to get admission. So in case you are looking for admission, we can help you. We can help people when it comes to the visa conscious service, whereby we help you to
fill forms, I-20, any other forms that you want to fill. We know what should be there, like in order not to make any mistake. So we help you do that from here. So when it comes to the migration support service, we give out up to 20 million in terms of loan, but we just get some collateral from you, maybe car or land or housing. Those are the what we get. So I hope I've actually answered that.
Yes, you have. Very, very, very much have. Now, I just want to piggyback. We're talking about global group, and I want us to talk about in terms of countries, right? So, Mr. Tolu, my next question to you is, what makes someone a strong candidate for the UK, United Kingdom Technician visa?
Okay, so the United Kingdom Technician visa is actually for tech talents in wherever it is that you want to move to the UK. So you can either move as an exceptional promise or an exceptional talent. So what makes you qualified is actually the fact that you've been working in the tech ecosystem for a while. 3 years to 5 years, either doing UI, UX, cybersecurity, or any tech-related job, or even if you're not working in a tech company, but you're actually doing a tech role in that company. What makes you qualified is the fact that everything that you have done, all your contributions you have made in that particular tech ecosystem are well recorded. You have recommendation letters, you have places where you have contributed to, and you can actually attest to the fact that you have done that. So that's what actually makes you qualified to get the UK technician visa. As an exceptional talent, you can get 5 years and move, and also get permanent residency and move to a family and all that. And exceptional promise that you are still private life in the tech space, and also get about 3 years, going on 5 also, and you get residence permit also in the UK. So generally, what gets you there is the fact that you are working by a tech expert and you have been able to actually contribute to that sector well enough to be able to prove that this is what I do and this is what I'm here to offer in the UK. So that's
Alright, thank you very much. I'd just like to take a quick break and just to let those streaming and watching online that if you have any questions that you feel like have not been touched or spoken about, are very much available to answer them. Alright, so next question, I'll go back to you, Mr. Tolu, is now we've spoken of a particular country. Now let's speak on particular jobs, particular roles, right? So how can developers, founders, data scientists, how can they position themselves to acquire this UK technician visa?
okay. So what they can do is actually the fact that all that you have done is being documented. You have to get recommendation letters. You have to have publications. If you need to get a blog, get the word out, let people know that this is what it is that you've done. If you have contributed to building something that is tech related or tech sponsored that is actually very well used, let it be documented. Let it speak for itself, and let us know that this is what you have done. The UK technician visa is largely based on evidences. It's not just it's not vague. It's not something that you can just copy and paste and just do stuff like that. So it's something you would have built pedigree from down up for a while. So even as a developer, UI UX, whatever it is that you do, you would have built that pedigree from time to time, and always take note of all that you have done. Because all those things you have done, your CV, your personal statements, recommendation letters, the mandatory criteria and all that, they all add up to what is going to give you the endorsement. Once you get the endorsement, you're halfway there. So that's basically how it goes.
Thank you. And lastly, on technician, I'd like to ask, what role do community members, community in the ecosystem, leadership play in the application process?
Okay, so community in general. So the technician visa is largely community based. Why? Because you can't just apply on your own without needing the input of different people. There are people that will speak for you, there are people that will stand for you, people that will be guarantors for you, people that will recommend you. So generally it also has to speak to your character, it has to speak to your integrity also, because we are going to recommend you if you are not good at your job or you are bad in your character. So largely for you to belong to a community and for you to have people to speak with you or speak for you. Sorry, it's something that you have to build also over time. So that's generally what it is.
Thank you very much, Mr. Antonio. Round of applause for him, please. Coming back to Mr. Money, our money man. In terms of, you had mentioned loans, right? We offer loans, right? So can you give us a bit more detail about the loans, how it goes, like a summary of how it goes, and the repayments and how that works, how that looks like?
Yeah, thank you. So pretty much, I've actually mentioned some things when it comes to pre-qualification for loan. So I think I'll just talk about the payback period. So payback period for a student loan depends on the payback period for the year. So sometimes it ranges between 5 to 10 years. And so if you take a 10 years loan, so the interest and the principal loan will be embedded, then you should just be paying a fraction of it. So let's say that you get a loan for $20,000 right now. I don't know the interest rate that we want to use at that time because, but let me just use a case scenario whereby we have a $20,000 loan at 14%, right? So in a 5 or 10 years, you only be paying a fraction, maybe $260 per month. And this loan comes with 1 year moratorium, meaning that when you are in school, you are not paying until when you're done in school. That's when you start paying back the loan per month, right? So in the course of 10 years, that's like 120 months. So if you divide 20,000 divided by 120 months, that's a fraction of what you'll be paying back. So for the payback period.
Alright, thank you. I'd just like you to just give more details for in terms of eligibility criteria.
The criteria is simple. You just need to have, for the student loan, all you need to have is just the prerequisite is an admission letter for the school we support. So if you go to our website or account, you see all the schools that we support in the UK, US, and Canada. So you can say, okay, if your school is there, then we can support you.
Can you also give us eligibility criteria for other immigration pathways aside from education?
Yeah, so when it comes to immigration, like I mentioned, we run a loan of 20 million for that, and we will take your collateral. So collateral in forms of like landed property in Lagos and Abuja, or a car up to 2013 and above. So that's what we use to value the loan. Right. So that's it for the loan.
Alright, fantastic. Thank you very much. I'll be coming down to you, Bumi. How do masters or PhD programs help get permanent residency? You can speak to it in general or specific countries.
So when you're talking about those with master's degree, in the US, I think that's one of the research types that is academic based, completely EB2MW. The EB2MW basically employment based category 2 with a national interest waiver. Used to be a regular visa, which allows like an employer to bring you into the US just like the H1B. However, over the years, the US discovered that they had a lot more talents outside the country with no employers, and they were looking to bring them in. Then the US meant, okay, give me, if you have this much talent, what value would you bring into my country, and I can waive the employer status for you. That was what birthed the national interest waiver. So you give me what value you're bringing in as a talent, and then I'm able to give you a waiver. How am I able to measure this? They measure this with the post-end level. In the first 5 years of my being in the US, this is what I hope to achieve. As a business consultant, I hope to create 1,000 more jobs working with the supply chain industry. As an health expert, I'm coming in to treat cancer patients. I'm coming to look for a cure in cancer. As a quantity surveyor, I'm going to be working with local scouts and estates to provide a living experience for a lot more people. So how you can provide value all put together in a well-written purpose endeavor. Now, purpose endeavor for a lot of Nigerians, Africans to be a 2-page, 3-page thing, and I think they're done. But then with Vesti's legal team, they're able to look at this particular draft of the purpose endeavor that you have and fleshing it out into what the USCIS really wants to see, so that you can have this national interest paper to apply for the EB2 NIW. Now, when you have the EB2 NIW proposed endeavor, which runs your national interest paper, then we move on to the exceptional ability kingdom, where you need, just like Timmy was mentioning, articles. You need to know if you have articles. You need to know strong recommendations. So there are two key criteria that Vesti uses when trying to shortlist for the EB2 NIW. Number one would be a master's degree holder or someone with advanced degree. Advanced degree is any other certificate aside your bachelor's degree. And then we ask for 5 to 10 years of work experience. 5 to 10 years of work experience across organizations, because we know that across your 5 to 10 years of work experience, there must have been articles. There must have been a lot of companies you made impact in these organizations, and you have key stakeholders in this particular industries who are willing to recommend you. In your years of experience, have you been involved in projects that you've written articles? Have you written articles yourself? Then, if you are in a field that needs patents, be you a writer, a health practitioner, do you have patents where applicable? Then, aside that, have you gotten awards? Not needed, but if you have, it is an addendum as well. So, if you have gotten awards nominations, of course, that would also count for you. Any of the review of what of others, judging them, being part of the panel, all of this come together under the exceptional ability. So now you have the purpose endeavor, you have the exceptional ability. Then we come to the advanced degree. The advanced degree then will be asking for your research, thesis, citations if necessary, if you have one of them. If your work has been cited over time by this esteemed stakeholder at one time or the other. So this all together, put together in a well-written petition, is needed for the EB2 NIW. Now, once that is submitted, it is a 10-year valid visa. It allows you to work, allows your spouse to work, allows your kids to have access to the school system, and also within the next 30 months, you're able to file for your citizenship if you maintain residency requirements. So residency requirements is that you need in a particular period of time to be in that particular country to file for the citizenship. So that's a bit about the EB2 NIW, but I'll take it all green card together. I will also mention the EB1. The EB1 is non-academic. However, like the requirement of the one that she has mentioned, it is same with the same requirement. The only difference will be for each category. If I'm asking you to give me 5 articles for O1, best if you are asking me to give me 8 or 9 for the EB1. Why? Because the O1 is valid for 3 years, the EB1 is valid for 10 years. So if you are going to be giving written work, if you're authored a journal or written any work over the number of years, if you have one, but the EB1 will ask you to have about 2 or 3 memoirs of all of your work. So if you have judged the work of others, perhaps you have reviewed maybe 10 or of all of your colleagues' work. For the EB1, they might be asking you for 15 or much more than that. So significant capacity. Then the only thing that adds to the EB1 will be evidences as significant to your field. Evidences as significant. If you are in the commerce industry, what have you done that is significant to your associations or to your field? As a consultant, what have you done? So other evidences, added evidences as significant to your field. So that is that for the EB1 and getting the green card.
All right, thank you very much, Ruby, for that very detailed answer to my question. And then finally, before we take questions from the audience, my next question is to Tanya. And the question is, what factors should someone consider when picking a school abroad?
Okay.
things for anyone. If you're going as an undergraduate or as a postgraduate, the first thing you want to know is what do I want to study? Why am I doing that? Why do you need to answer this question? It helps in the shortlisting stage because you want to know what schools and what states have this particular courses that are included. Then the second purpose is you want to know your purpose for education. If you're going for school just to add, like other people's, there are ways you can practice. But if you're going for the purpose of permanent residency, then there are plans that you need to put in place. And these will all take effect in the kind of person you look for and your statement of purpose. So you want to have, number one, the school shortlisted. When you have your schools shortlisted, then you want to know the general requirements that are required by each of the schools, then which of those requirements do you meet? If you meet any of these requirements, then if you have any one of them that you're short of, for example, I think one of the things that a lot of people would not have would be either their SATs, IELTS, you don't have your WEST rating, or you don't have your TOEFL rating at any time. So you want to know if it's compulsory for the school. Number one, you need to have that. Then if you need to have your GRE rating as well, that is very, very compulsory as well. So if you know that this particular school of interest, for example, Illinois State will not grant you some courses if you don't have your GRE rating. So if you're interested in these kind of schools, then you also want to, have your GRE rating. Then another thing is you also want to know the financial aid you will get. Does the school offer financial aid? Do they have scholarships? If they have any of that and you're looking towards that, then you want to know what is offered in your department. That helps when you're applying as well. You want to know the opportunities available, if there is an opportunity for graduate assistantship or not, and how you can apply for this. So when you have all of this, then you can get started with applications. You want to know the sessions, because there are schools that will only give you fall admissions, there are schools that will give you for spring, and there are schools that they have sessions in and out, they even have for summer. So you want to know what sessions are available and you want to pose yourself ready for that. You want to also know if there are application fees available or if it's being waived, so that you don't fill your application and you cannot pay your application. You need to know to count your cost. Once you have all of that covered, then you fill in your application. One of the most important things in your application document that would be your statement of purpose. Statement of purpose is basically one of the easiest ways that the application reviewer is going to meet with you without meeting with you physically. So you want to push yourself very, very strongly. During our insight sessions, which is something we offer as a service in Vesti, where we're able to talk you through, give you tailored guidance on the education pathway. I tell them there are 3 cheat codes when you want to apply to school and you're writing the statement of purpose. It's not about how long, it's not about the vocabulary or what you put in there. It's just the ease. I feel, when I'm reading, I know I can meet with this person. This person has value to offer. First paragraph is, introducing yourself, what you study. Please do not include your hobbies, passion and interest, your name, what you study, your passion and interest. Second is, your undergraduate study and how it has impacted your life. If you know you had a diversion in course, maybe you did sciences and study, you were in arts and you were in business, you want to mention your passion, your interest, and how that has impacted you. Then the third paragraph will be you stating why you're seeking to study that course, basically, and how it's going to be of impact to you and your community. And take note that this statement of purpose would also be one of the key things that your visa consular will be asking questions based on, because everything you're filling is going to be shared with the database. So you want to be very, very careful when you're applying. Simple to your application, then you want to know the wait period and when your admission decision will be taken, access to proof of funds, and also international studying, which Vesti also offers as a service.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. A round of applause to all our we are at the end of the panel sessions, and now we're asking for questions. Mr. Daniel, do you have any questions for the panelists before they go?
Okay. So I have a question regarding the study loans.
Okay.
So you mentioned earlier that you support students with loan facility. So alongside the loan facility, do you also help students secure scholarships?
Okay. I will answer this as honestly as possible. We work with schools who offer financial aids, but we do not work with scholarships. Why? Because in the face of it, looking at Africa, before any scholarship comes to the land of Africa is about 80% gone. So we do not typically apply for scholarships. If it's available at the time of application, yes, we will work in line with that. But what we're able to do is we work with schools who offer financial aid. Yes, when you get in the mission. For example, I think was the last week, we had a student who got aerospace engineering and got $27,000 in scholarship amount for financial aid. So we're able to work with schools who offer financial aid because truthfully, in Nigeria and in Africa, if you see anyone telling you they offer scholarships, best believe take it to the bank and you're talking about it. You might eventually not get that scholarship or you get aid.
Yeah, to add to that also, to add to what she has said actually. So the only thing you can get from any school, that's why we like to walk through to the process, like I made mention earlier, that we can help you get admission. So when you get admission, we know some schools that can say maybe give you scholarship on your tuition, give you like 10% off, right? That will reduce your tuition. So that's the tuition that you'll be looking for. Maybe your school is giving you $55,000 in tuition and you've gotten like $10,000 off, right? You know, that's like 40 something thousand, that's what you're looking for. But for full scholarship is a little dicey, right? Maybe in PhD level or not a master's level, right? And so the loan that we give is based on master's, not even BSc. We're strictly master's program. And if you want to do for PhD here, we can do it, but your PhD has to be like the second year, maybe you're almost finishing, right? So we can say we can support you with that year left, right? So that's what we do for loan. But I can guarantee you, we have different strategies on how to get the loan. Because this loan is not even automatic, right? You might not have the required criteria to get the loan. So we know how to do some things, right? To say, okay, you need to have money from family and friends. You need to show your own savings so that it will boost, right? To boost your qualification. So that's what we do. We just keep kind of advice and tell you that this is what you need to get it done.
So the reason why I asked the question is it relates to the consular process, where after you've secured the admission and you want to get the visa, people often say that relying on loan at that point, it's not really, yeah.
Okay, so there are two tickets like that. I think I got that too last Saturday, and I had to tell him because unfortunately he had declined the admission. Unfortunately, there are two. I gave a scenario. There are two categories. Number one, you have Mr. A, who just completed his BSc and is going for his master's. Applied to the school. His resume states that he has not worked a day in his life, and then immediately after that, he stated in his application that he wants to go via loan. Now, you know, Mr. A has not worked a day in his life, and he stated that. While Mr. B, in his resume, has about 5 to 10 years of work experience in the banking sector, also applied to advance his studies, basically because he wants to add to his knowledge, and is also seeking to apply with an international study loan. While A has higher chances with his visa interview using a full student loan because the resume states that he has not worked a day in his life and is also using sponsorship. For B is more of a demerit because then they want to know, okay, all of your pay slips, everything you've done in the last 10 years, what does it amount to? So that kind of person would not be advised to fully depend on international study loan. You can have a percentage of the international study loan, but also something substantial in your account to show that you have enough to cater for yourself and your expense. So those are the two things. They're very, very different. Scenarios are different. And that is why whenever you're going for your visa interview, the concierge team is able to work with you. You know, looking at your papers, they have an extensive review to prepare you for the interview on how to tailor response questions if you're asked about.
Yeah, just to add to what she has said. So when it comes to that, you agree with me that when it comes to going for US consular, it's based on discretion. Like they are discretion. Right? So what you need to do is to just do your best, fill in the right information. Right? So somehow, some people ignore the filling of form, like you mentioned, when it comes to the consent. That's what we offer, guidance support on how to fill the form. So in a process whereby you need to put that you're getting your tuition from a private financing, and you're already going to put your uncle there, right? And you have a private financing company that have actually agreed to finance you, right? They will disburse the money to your school directly, right? And they will send you the letter. The letter, you can take it to the embassy for your interview. Now, it's conflicting. You have a private financing company that wants to finance you, but in your form, I-20, you already filled family, right? So those are the things that a lot of people don't really pay attention to, right? And that's what we advise you to do. Like, no, okay, we'll go through. So we really like to start your process from ground level before you even get to that side, so to avoid any issue.
Great, thank you, Mr. Daniel. Are those all your questions?
Yes.
You're done? Okay, fantastic. I just hand it back to you now for the presentations and information and
Okay, so anyone would like for that information, you can just reach out to us via talentVisa@vesti.com. Send your email to talentVisa@vesti.com, and everyone who is also registered will also get email or a response from us. And if you are interested in OMPD1, I think the next thing to do is you can also take a pre-qualification test via vesti.com/visa. Regardless of the visa type, there is always a pre-qualification test. So if you want to know if you qualify, you can just go on the web, vesti.com to know if you qualify. Also, for education, we have the insight session, so you could also reach out to us via that as well. And if you're also interested in the concierge service, of course, do reach out to us. I know that there's been a form that's been shared to our online viewers. Please do want to fill the form, and we do want to also connect with you.
Good evening, ma'am. Welcome. I'm just about to wrap up, but my name is Hadiza. I'm partnership leader at Vesti. Although we've had like the panel session, but just so because you're here and we really value you, right? Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay, welcome. First, I'd like to ask your name and what you came here to achieve, why you came for going global here today, and what you do.
Okay. Alright. My name is Evie.
Evie.
Yes.
Hi, Evie. Good evening.
Okay. Talking about this place, and that we have can assist in helping someone to relocate.
Yes.
So that's why I came.
Okay.
I was working for 16 years, but I'm not working anymore. So I started trying to be on my own. I'm in hospitality industry. I was working for 16 years.
Do you have any country in mind?
Hmm?
Do you have any country in mind?
I really want to go to the US.
Okay.
I've tried it before, it didn't work.
Okay.
And then I'm here.
Yeah.
You're in the right place, you're in the perfect place. Welcome. So I'll just hand over to you, just an overview in terms of relocating to the US, since that's your country of interest. And if you have any tailored question around that, we're also here to help you just before we close.
Okay, so I think seeing that you came based off someone's situation, it would be best if I speak to you after, because we have some people online who are doing here for the class, but that is 1 hour and we know what the weather is saying. So we don't hold them. I can have a session with you after this. So I hope you know.
Fantastic, thank you very much, everyone. So thank you very much, everyone, for showing up today. For those online, thank you so much for being here. We've come to the end of today's this month, Going Global Lagos. Yes, very, very excited to see all of you go global. Good night. Bye.